This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. It's time for the Community Associations Institute Minute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. So call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. The address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community associations board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that is established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit www.cai-mn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at cai-mn.com and click on membership.
I want to remind our listeners, if you have questions or comments about our program, about Where You Live, just call our hotline at 952-224-2668, and we'll address it on the air.
Yes, we will. Well, let's get back to this discussion about FHA recertification, because conventional mortgages are not being offered as much because you're talking about private investors now who are saying we just don't wish to put our money in that arena because we don't think it's a safe risk anymore, or because the amount of money needed, because as you mentioned, you need a substantially larger amount down for a down
conventional
payment.
Mortgage.
FHA has been what is used primarily in this industry for sales when they do take place. But now being caught with the real estate bubble being what it is, things being difficult, you add on to this these additional hurdles that must be jumped over. It makes it very difficult. And as I was saying right before the break, one of the experiences that we have is that what is most frustrating is the bureaucratic method that is used and how communication is done. As I mentioned, we live in a day and age of cell phones, of emails, of so much else, but the only thing that is used
that is accepted by HUD for communication
is U.S. mail. and so
you're trying to put together this huge packet of information and send it to HUD. They send it back and say something's missing. You can't even email someone or fax an extra document to someone.
No, they don't. They
don't.
Don't give you a key contact. I don't know how you can continue on in business. We certainly couldn't if someone needs a disclosure that needs to be written and provided because they're looking at a sale at New Concepts. We've got a key person that they
taking
go
care
to.
Of that. That's
the
right.
Go-to
we are
person.
going to do everything we can to expedite a sale.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if something is missing, you don't say start all over again. You just say, you know what, we've got everything, but this or this, can you provide that and we'll continue on? No, they come back and say start all over again.
You know what just struck me? We've talked about this before, and we talked about it today in prep for the show. People think that government is supposed to be expedient and efficient. And when it comes to legislation, we are always saying government is not meant to be expedient or efficient. Government is meant to be deliberate.
Yes.
All right. On the other hand, in the areas where they could be logically and reasonably expedient and efficient, like let's get on the bandwagon here with this new technology. Let's accept faxed documents. They don't. Yeah. They drag their heels. It's like exactly backwards.
And it makes you wonder, because is not is not government there to serve the people? I mean,
we certainly don't get that feeling. Anytime I've had to interact with a government agency, I have never gotten the feeling they were there to serve me.
Now, part of the problem is that anytime the larger the organization, the more bureaucratic it becomes.
Sure.
And so,
what could be larger than the federal government?
Yes, and so you take a look at this recertification process. This probably is reminiscent for you of back when you were doing loans too. When you were a loan officer, you would put together a package, and that package. You may have had a key contact, but that information of that loan package was separated in different groups. And committees
were reviewing
different pieces.
Submit it to the bank, to their underwriting department, to get approval so that we could get a loan approved for our customer. Right?
My sense
and you're saying they broke that up within the structure of the bank.
My sense is that that's probably being done here too. But there isn't. There does not seem to be any point of contact. One person who's marshaling everything from the beginning to the end, and so things get lost, things get misplaced, and they say, even though they may have submitted it, they said, we didn't get some items, so here you go, start all over again.
It's an example of the very worst of bureaucracy. People
really
who are
is.
doing what's on their desk and have no concern or no care or interest in getting the job done or helping people get what they need in order to comply with their HUD's rules.
No, the difference is in a free market when you use goods and services from another company and that are providing something for you. If things aren't getting done, you say to them, I'm going to take it away from you and go down. Yeah, no, take my business and go down. But with the government, you don't have that.
That's right.
That is it, and that's what makes it more
frustrating. So
frustrating.
they're never going to lose our business, and they don't care if our business gets done or not.
Now, some of the requirements, of course, of what they're asking for, we've talked about before. They're saying no more than 15% in delinquency in the homeowner association.
All right, that's requirements for recertification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want to see a minimum of 10% of the assessments that are coming in a year being set aside for reserves.
Okay.
Some of these are good ideas. There's some things we've talked about how they could be, redone, I guess, a little bit better.
Right.
But here's one that I think is really interesting. Tell me what you think about this. One FHA requirement is they don't want more than 50% of the units in a development as non-owner occupied.
Read rental property.
Yes, and
well, here's what's interesting, Gene. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
My question is, could not the government, because of stating that requirement, could they not be called up on for possible discrimination according to public assistance? Because a lot of hear me out on this.
Sure.
We went through that with an association of ours, where the association said you can't have more than a certain amount of people in a unit.
All right. They limited the number of people in a unit.
Yeah, limited the number of people that could be in a unit. Well, HUD came back and said, you're discriminating according to family status.
Yeah, well,
and I think on the same grounds as if HUD is making the statement that setting the number is discriminating according to family status, I think a case could be made that they would be discriminating according to public assistance.
Well, first of all, I disagree with the HUD decision in that case you're citing, because landlords do get to decide how many people can live in their rental property. Mm-hmm. HUD, the rule of thumb for HUD is 2 people per bedroom. So if they see a requirement more stringent than that, they challenge it and they say you're wrong. On the other hand, limiting the number of rentals in the community, that's based on what money they're going to give you. It's kind of like the banks. They get to have their rules because they're the ones providing you the money. So I see that as a little bit different. But what I find interesting, do you remember back in the day, Gene? Back in the mid-'80s when me and then you managed that huge condominium project in South Hopkins?
Yep.
The FHA limit on rentals was 50%. It has always been 50%. That's not new.
Yeah.
FHA would not finance in a sale in a property where there was more than 50% rentals, because that property we managed came up against that problem while we were there.
But the issue or problem, again, is because of what is created. If government is trying to help, and you have a community that never sold in the first place, so you have a developer who's trying to be a good egg. And
so you're saying the community is not sold out.
Yes.
And
so the developer still owns all of these units.
Right.
He's going to put in renters until such time as they can finally sell those off. And now you can't recertify.
If he's got too many renters in there, then he can't sell to someone with an FHA mortgage.
Yes, while all along the only reason he's doing it is so he can make those payments to the association.
Yet another example of unintended consequences.
Yes.
In regulation.
Well, anyway, that was the news with FHA and recertification. We need to take a break right now. When we come back, we've got a question from a listener. More after these messages.